When you watch a movie, do you ever think about how it got there? And who sold it to Netflix or Apple or put it in theaters? And if you're a young filmmaker, how do you get there? These were just a few of the questions that I had for myself when I set out to make my first indie feature film right out of high school, with no studios and no real way to make it happen. Hi, my name's Brady. I have been taking the internet through this whole journey, from how we got the idea all the way through a grueling production and then through the trials and tribulations of editing the movie by myself throughout COVID. It's called Human Resources, and it's a horror movie that takes place entirely in a hardware store. But little did I know that even once the movie was shot, edited, and by all means finished, that doesn't mean that it was guaranteed to go anywhere. But in this epic series finale, I'll teach you everything we learned in the trenches of submitting to film festivals and trying to land a major distribution deal.
When you stop asking permission and start just taking destiny in your own hands, things kind of fall into place like that.
Don't pay attention to the industry. Do your own thing.
It had been a long time since we started work on Human Resources. Here in the timeline in 2021, the horror script that I wrote with my brother was finally a fully fledged film.
It's over, baby! It's freaking over! Oh my god!
But, so what? Sadly, just making a movie is a guarantee of, well, nothing. So where do you start with any of this? I didn't know. Do you just call every studio in Hollywood and you're just like, hey, we've got a really good movie. I think you're gonna love it. Care to premiere it in theaters? Like, that's not how it works. Of course, with the rise of social media, you can just post it online and call it a day. But for a project this large, a full feature film, there's a lot of potential there. Streaming, theaters, DVDs, you name it. And while I was never taught how to do any of this, I figured I'd treat it like any short film, so the best idea that I had to start with was film festivals. Everyone's heard of film festivals, right? But what the hell are they really, and how do you even get into them? Well, it varies. Film festivals are a place to celebrate your project, gain exposure for your work, and connect with fellow filmmakers, all of which could lead to something bigger for your movie. Throughout the years studying film in high school, me and my friends had a little bit of experience with submitting to student film festivals. We even won top prize for our senior thesis project, an experience that I actually have covered on this channel already. But all of these experiences throughout high school were just that. They were student film festivals, all for short films. And here, with Human Resources, we had made a 2-hour horror movie, and we didn't know if we could stand with the other feature films in film festivals. But I knew we had to try. Film Freeway is the place to start. It is the main hub for submitting to film festivals, and anyone can sign up for free. Just want to let you know that nothing I talk about here today, or in really any of my videos so far, are going to be sponsorships. They're just tools that I really like. Here on Film Freeway, you can add all your details for your movie and start submitting to festivals virtually. At first, I was really searching up a lot of the free submissions and not really background checking any of the ones that I was looking into. Truth be told, we didn't really have a solid plan going into this thing. Even though we were proud of what we created, compared to similar budget movies, it could have been the worst one out of the bunch. And all of a sudden, the first festival that we submitted to rejected us. Shit.
People talk about, wow, you've had such success and it's just been so overnight and whatever. Whatever success I've got has come after like 8 years of just nothing working out.
It can feel impossible to break into even the surface level parts of the Hollywood system. But look, for the entire journey of this whole feature film, we would just start the first step in a process and learn everything along the way. I kept working really hard to apply myself and learn as much as I could about the film festival process so that our little indie feature film could have a chance against big money, well-known actors, and pure chance. And let me tell you what I learned, because my God, it was a lot. Number 1, organize from newest to oldest based on the deadlines that were opening up that day. Check every day, even if it's for 5 minutes. You don't want to miss one to give you your first fighting chance. Number 2, look at the previous winners of the film festivals. If you find that a film festival has only ever awarded quirky dramas, your crime thriller horror movie might just not be the best fit. And occasionally they don't even have strong themes or trends. Some film festivals literally put every single category and multiple variations of each category celebratory, and that's when you can kind of be like, this doesn't seem like they have too much focus. And this leads to number 3, which is to make sure, oh my god, that film festivals are legitimate. Because there's submission fees involved, of course there's gonna be some bad players. How long has this film festival been around? Do they have photos of last year's events? Are the film festival directors on social media and talking about their festival? Even if on paper it sounds like the perfect festival for your movie, you gotta be diligent and check up on the festival. Number 4 is keep everything as concise as you can when submitting with a cover letter. A lot of these festival directors get thousands and thousands of submissions, and it can mean a lot if you add one small personal detail to let these people know that you actually do care. And finally, number 5, be wise about your budget. I am so painfully aware that as filmmakers, we absolutely do not have money to burn, and that's why I recommend using these tips in the first place. Just don't submit willy-nilly to every single one you see, because before you know it, you'll be out of money. And if you've looked at all these things and more and used common sense throughout the way, you can start to give submitting a shot. And by the end of this, we had submitted to 30 festivals that we felt really strongly about. But I'm gonna level with you here, it's not an easy game. And the really hard part about all of this is that some film festivals can take like a year to get back to you. And I know this because we waited and waited and waited and waited and waited, and nothing came back. Even with the new tips applied, the next 2 submissions were also rejections. And after we had waited and got a few rejections, I don't know, something clicked in my brain. I was like, this is not why I set out on this journey. We set out on this journey because we wanted to see if we could complete a feature film as teenagers. It was a miracle that we were able to pull it off. And now in the timeline, it was the summer of 2021, and nobody in the cast or crew had seen the movie except for a few test screenings. And so we shifted gears and decided to put our energy into the thing that would matter the most: a private red carpet movie theater premiere for all the people who had made this movie a reality. The indie cinema near us was one that we really loved. A small 2-screen cinema called the Frida. I was like, what better place to premiere our little indie movie with a big heart than at a little local cinema with a big heart? But we would have to pay for it ourselves, out of pocket, as broke college students with a movie budget that was long gone. So I launched a final desperate crowdfunding campaign on Instagram to raise just enough money from our amazing supporters to cover a theater rental.
Thank you so much for your donation. Thank you for the donation.
As we waited to hear back from more film festivals, we could rest assured knowing that an amazing celebratory night was ahead of us.
Oh my god! What? Look at this! What? Look at my hair, too!
Your hair! Oh my god, it's so amazing! Oh, I'm gonna save this for all time.
We got there early, we made sure everything was set up, all the names were on the seats.
I drove over there and I was looking, I went, oh my god, there it is, up on the marquee.
The human resources on the marquee!
You actually walk up to the building and you see all the people lined up waiting to get in, and you realize everyone else is feeling just as excited as you.
It was because it was years of hard work.
Hello.
So many things you shoot, you never hear from them again. I did not expect a red carpet gala event. I just didn't. People are milling about, coming in, dressed up,
Walking up in my nice little suit.
New heels, new makeup, new jewelry, new dress, everything just specifically for this event. I was so excited to dress up.
Wait, what? I remember you. I know, you know, all these familiar faces, and it's just like, oh, red carpet. Let's get the pictures, and it was just amazing.
So get ready, it's about to begin, and I'm gonna come back up here and talk again. So thank you guys for coming out tonight.
I didn't realize what having 200 of our friends and family and cast and crew at a packed theater for our movie would feel like. One of the core memories of my life.
Get ready for human resources! There we go.
Test. What is going on, everybody?
This is very surreal. So, starting with just like tiny shred of an idea, and now it's like over 150 people and a finished feature film. It's insane.
You guys put your faith in a bunch of crazy 19-year-olds, and I look forward to making a lifetime of movies with you right down my side.
I hope that this movie can do for you what it has done for me. So, with that said,
Are you ready?
To you the premiere of Human Resources, our first feature film.
It doesn't even matter what is in that movie. It could be the biggest piece of garbage of your life, but you got there. You're gonna watch the movie that you made.
Everything just stood still. And I remember all the stress, everything that I was worried about to come for the movie, it kind of just vanished for a brief moment.
People were cheering and screaming and laughing and gasping, and it was so cool to see it packed with 200 people.
And you're like, holy shit, I feel like I'm high. It's terrifying how fun it is.
I knew it was going to be emotional, but I never really could have expected how emotional it was going to be sitting there actually seeing it.
It was unlike anything I've ever experienced.
So, what do we do now?
Whatever we want.
That's a feature film, I guess. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. Thank you for coming.
That could have been the end of the story. That could have been who cares if we sell this movie or bring it to festivals or whatever. We did it.
When it was all said and done, we learned that festivals and distribution don't matter, and we lived happily ever after. The end.
All of a sudden, just as bad as everything went up until that time was as good as it went. So, they say, a pendulum swings both ways.
Against all odds, Human Resources got into its first film festival. Yeah, that's right, baby. Maybe it was like the universe's reward for us finally being at peace and letting go of the movie. More likely, though, it was about the film festivals that we were really smart with and all the criteria points that we checked and checked and checked to make sure we were aiming in the right direction.
It was kind of amazing.
Welcome to the 7th annual Los Angeles Crime and Horror Film Festival!
It was a small festival at a small theater in Los Angeles, but it was real. Our names were on the program, there were other filmmakers there, and Human Resources played to its first official audience.
This is the film festival debut for Human Resources. Give it up for that.
And that was just so cool, seeing it screen at a film festival. We just wanted people to see this film and say, hey, look what we did at 19 years old.
And it seemed like from there, everything changed.
We started getting some really good results. We got into a bunch of festivals, way more than we thought we would.
We got into festivals in Florida, Oklahoma, North Carolina, Idlewild, LA, San Francisco, and then Oceanside, California, which was an amazing experience.
Here we are, taking on the festival. Here at the Oceanside Film Festival, repping Human Resources, eating hors d'oeuvres.
We were on a red carpet, and the guy was very energetic and talking about how much he loved the film.
The characters that you cast in your film, it's so professional for me.
It was crazy because at the beginning of all this, we didn't even know if the movie was going to get made, and now suddenly here I am doing a red carpet interview for the movie.
It's a movie that we all made collectively together with a lot of willpower.
Just a total passion project, a ragtag group of people.
This movie was a really good time.
I was drawn to the story from the very beginning.
You guys draw the passion out of everyone by your passion. I love your vision. It's so good.
It was the first time it was we got such good reaction from someone that wasn't our friends or family, our crew.
It's incredible what you were able to accomplish before the drinking age here in America. One more applause. I mean, that's incredible.
That's a memory that I will never forget for sure.
That was cool.
That was so cool!
And at these film festivals, somehow we managed to take home a few pretty cool awards.
Best picture goes to Human Resources!
It was so exciting. Braden, thank you so much for bringing me on this journey with you.
I've said all I needed to say. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And the award goes to
And the winner is Brody Bogert. Brody Bogert.
I'm so proud of all you guys. You guys are the reason we won that award.
not me. This is all of you guys. I am so proud.
I really think we honestly could have gotten into a few more film festivals, but once again, this indie production was out of money and we had to stop somewhere. But there was an amazing festival up in Gilroy, California. We kind of treated this film festival as the grand finale to the film festival circuit.
Made it to the Bobby Jasper International Film Festival.
We got to experience wine country and mimosa brunches and industry professionals and like-minded filmmakers, and I was just like, how is any of this happening for our little movie? I never would have expected any of this. And even though we didn't win the top award at Sundance with instant distribution, we got to experience so many cool things just from making this movie. Thanks to these film festivals, the journey wasn't over, because along came Motion Picture Exchange.
They emailed saying, hey, we're sales agents for films. We saw your film at a film festival and we're interested in representing it. Let's start making a deal for it. Didn't know anything about it. We had no plans for distribution. We thought we'll do the festival circuit and hopefully something will come of it.
But, you know, that was before. After the red carpet premiere and a great festival run, we kind of started to consider, you know, what potential there might be in this movie.
We hope we show this thing to you guys on streaming someday.
And so, with this cold email out of the blue, it was time to do even more research to understand what they were talking about. This whole journey was pretty much just a bunch of Google searches. First, you're gonna need a sales agent, or you can represent yourself. Sales agents are, well, like your agents. They're the ones who are gonna utilize the proper marketing materials to get your movie shown to people who matter. And that process will lead you to a distributor. A distributor is responsible for finding a way to exhibit your movie to the world. In other words, finding a release platform. An actual movie theater, a streaming service, an iTunes rental, a DVD, Blu-ray, you name it. A distributor can be any of the famous studios, all the way down to smaller companies trying to build from the ground up. We had no interest in representing ourselves after years of working on this movie, so we had to start with step one. So we signed the contract for MPX to represent us.
Preparing a movie to be sold is like another step of making the movie.
We had to get a ton of stuff ready, all like the bios for every cast and crew member, all the stills, all of the posters.
Basically, we made a huge marketing booklet of the reasons why this film could be sold.
We worked for weeks and weeks prepping everything that MPX needed from us to go out and sell the movie.
Our agents took it to the American film market, they took it to the Cannes film market in France, they sent screeners to like 50 distributors, and we got notes back from a ton of them, including Netflix and Lionsgate, and it was so cool to see their notes. A lot of them were just like, yeah, like the film was great, but it's too small budget for us, or there's no name actors, which I totally understand. It makes sense. They want to have something that has marketability. Ours was a little small indie horror film.
MPX had always talked about, oh yeah, this film will sell like hotcakes. Like there's no question about that. I'm like, okay, yeah, well, we'll see. Very quickly, he called us and was like, yeah, we sold your movie to a distributor, and they're very excited about it. And I'm like, oh my God, like you weren't kidding. Like he actually believed in our movie, and like he was right.
So a company called Desktop Entertainment was now in charge of releasing our movie.
They really value the film. They saw what we made and they knew that we made a great product. They were so excited to help us with it.
They're just so excited about the movie. We're looking forward to this so much.
So then we announced to the world that we had made a sale to Desktop Entertainment. Once again, we were pretty unsure of how big of a release this was gonna get. We wouldn't have even been surprised if they said, we can't release this thing at all, it's nothing. And now was time for the biggest stretch of silence and not working on the project to date.
Okay, just wanted to come on here and say that I know it's taking a while for us to tell you what's going on with human resources. We're still waiting on news for Desktop Entertainment to tell us how the movie's coming out, but trust me, you'll be the first to know.
But then, in September 2022, we received the big one.
Oh my God. No way, what?
4 years after we had started making this movie, we got the call that our film was finally gonna be released. Our movie had struck a deal with Starz to be an exclusive streaming movie on their service. But not only that, they had secured us a deal to open our movie in actual movie theater screens across the nation. What?
I remember us hanging up the phone and then getting on a three-way FaceTime call and just screaming. We were so excited.
What? Are you kidding
I'm
me?
not kidding you.
Starz?
We're going on Starz and then like, oh my gosh, I can't even process.
Human Resources is going to movie theaters.
What?
And Starz.
What?
I know, I just
all of a sudden the pendulum started swinging the other way and everything worked out. It's pretty cool.
The coolest thing about this step of the process was that MPX and Deskpop were able to secure a press release for the movie. Like a legitimate, trusted, credible news source that was announcing that this movie was coming and releasing the new trailer for it.
Whoa, wow, that's cool. It's like right on the front page.
And I would just Google our names and a bunch of outlets would pick up this news story and it would just snowball from there. Reshares and posts and comments and replies and excitements and texts and everything. If the press release was big, imagine how big the release day was gonna be. I could not wait to be around to see it all happen. Hi. So, I'm on a boat, a Disney cruise, actually. It's January 10th, 2023, and I'm not at home. And I'm not connected to Wi-Fi, and I'm not connected to any cell service. Penny and I booked this cruise before we ever knew the release date for Human Resources, so I certainly never planned to be away for the biggest day of my life. But you know what? Throughout this entire process, I have been like a hovering parent over this movie. And now that I'm like looking out at the ocean in the middle of nowhere, as Human Resources is coming out, it's like definitely the weirdest feeling I think I've ever felt in this entire 4 years. I've been like this close from buying the super expensive Disney Cruise Wi-Fi. However, I mean, look at this. I mean, I just can't, right? I have to just enjoy this. And I don't know, I guess this is just kind of good practice. Sometimes when you pour your heart into something so much, maybe the singular greatest lesson I can take from it is that I just have to let go. Do I wish it could have been like the day after release? Yes. But this is pretty damn well needed. So, Human Resources, I hope you're doing well, but for now, I'm gonna take a break.
Hey everyone, I'm so excited because I'm about to go see the movie in theaters. It is so surreal to be holding this DVD in my hand after 4 years since I worked on this movie.
Like the entire crew, none of them were over 20 years old at the time.
But the theater is back there and we're gonna go see Human Resources.
When do you think we can expect to maybe be able to see this thing?
Oh, you can watch it right now. Search Human Resources, and there it shall be.
I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2023 horror mystery thriller Human Resources, a film that is co-written and directed by Braden Swope.
They keep announcing things for this movie and then suddenly it's just the last one.
It's 2 a.m. I just got home from seeing Human Resources in theaters, and I'm just feeling very proud of Human Resources and everyone that worked on it and all of the hard work we did. It's paying off years later. I worked on that movie when I was 19 years old, and now I'm 23 and I get to see it in theaters, and very exciting. Very exciting. Mwah.
Close to when you first pitched it, I remember you saying something, you're like, well, if we get this sold and if it makes any money, and being 18, I was like, there's no way that's happening. Like, we're idiots. And now, pardon my friend, is fucking surreal. Like, it doesn't make, and it just doesn't, like, I can barely even comprehend it. And I wouldn't trade any of the madness, even the painful stuff, for the world, because I've learned so much from it.
If I could go back and tell myself what was going to happen, I don't know if I'd believe me. It was a crazy ride.
It's like, okay, this kid comes along, wants to make a feature film. Okay, yeah, sure. Oh, wait, he actually did it.
Like, you literally did something most 19-year-olds wouldn't even fathom of doing.
You pushed a big rock up a big hill.
They might just be 19, but they know what they are doing, and someone's going to give them a lot of money to do this.
You know, I just applied for like a position and got to like that little movie on the resume. Sold at the largest film market in the world.
When I was interviewing for my job, I talked about it in my interview.
It's important to try crazy ideas that you might think are just crazy ideas, but they could be so much more. And we did it. We did it, and I'd do it again.
It honestly truly feels like just the beginning. I don't feel like there's anything that's gonna stop the train.
It all started with us at age 8 and 6. You can't get to here without that.
Oops, I forgot to wear pants today.
It's not AFI's #1 movie of the century, but it's a passable, decent horror movie with some really cool moments. People might hate it, people might love it, but at this point it's out there and I don't give a damn what they have to say about it. We made a movie and that's the most like rewarding thing of all.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Barry Package, thank you, because I never would have been part of something like this. It would be a very boring existence.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking a chance on HR and our writing and me. Thank you. All right, that's all I got. Can I give you a hug?
Yeah, brother.
Come here. Come here.
Give me a squeeze, little brother.
Come here, big boy.
We did it.
We did it. You sold the fucking movie.
Thank you. Thank you for everything you've given me. Thank you.
Thank you. I can't believe it.
So
wow,
exciting.
what a look back.
I know.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for everything. It's been a journey, dude.
Come through all of the equipment and give me a hug. Oh,
Thank you.
I love you.
And now, the final person I want to thank is you for watching this video. And let me tell you, this is just the beginning of this YouTube journey. Thank you for watching the story of human resources, and I'll see you at the movies.